Welcome to Success Weekly with James Tharris, a weekly dose of thought-provoking ideas and helpful tips on improving your mindset. And now, here's your host, James Tharris.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Success Weekly. I'm your host, James Tharris. Today we've got a very special show lined up for you. I'm going to take you into the world-famous martial arts industry super show, which was held in Las Vegas the week of July 4th, and I interviewed some of the top industry leaders in our martial arts industry and some of the most successful people that I know personally. So I wanted to just take you in with me here and let you hear how things unfolded with several very, very high prominent martial arts masters and instructors and school owners really around the United States. So here we go.
All right, so we're here with my longtime friend, Bill Superfoot Wallace. We're at the Martial Arts Super Show. So, Mr. Wallace, I just wanted to first of all thank you for your years of service to the industry and the inspiration you've given to myself and so many thousands of other martial artists around the world. And I wanted to kind of get a quick, unscripted answer of maybe the 2 or 3 things that you did in your fighting career and acting career and everything else you've done to become successful. If you could nail them down to just 2 or 3 things that you've done, what would those 2 or 3 things been?
Well, I think the most important thing is I had fun. You know, when we first started martial arts, none of us realized that this might be our living for the rest of our life. My father wanted me to be a school teacher, and that's what I had plans all the way through college, all the way through my graduate work and everything else. I was going to be a school teacher. Then all of a sudden, full contact karate happened, kickboxing happened, and then Chuck Norris asked me to do the film with him. So, you know, I was just having fun because, like I said before, none of us planned to make this a livelihood. All of a sudden, it just happens. So I'm having a blast. I get paid to work out. I get paid to have fun.
So having fun is the key to success for you.
Oh, yeah, because you're relaxed and you'll listen to people. Not everything's set and dried like it has to be, because we change. Everybody's built differently. Everybody's different. So when I do my seminars, I gauge those seminars into what people want. There's a lot of Taekwondo people that don't kick really high. So, you know, I'm showing all these high kicks. Well, we can't do those. So you make them lower. So the same kick, just a little bit lower, and they have more fun. Nobody gets hurt, and we have a blast.
All right, well, there you guys heard it. Thank you so much, Mr. Superfoot.
That's it.
That's it.
It was easy.
All right, we were with Mr. Randy Reed, editor and creator of Dojo Nation and tons of other great programs out there that we've all been exposed to, and some fantastic information. So, Mr. Reed, first of all, thank you for all the things you've done for the martial arts industry over the years. And I just wanted to ask you a very simple question. If you could nail down your success that you've had in life to 2 or 3 things that you've consistently done, what would you say those things would be?
So first off, thank you for doing the interview first thing on a Saturday morning in Vegas. You do realize we're in Las Vegas. But, you know, first off, I think it starts with defining what success is for you. And success for me has always been being part of a team and seeing the team be successful, see other people being successful. In martial arts, we're in the business of making other people successful in life. And I just kind of extrapolate that out into the things we do, and it comes back to, as all good things are supposed to, when you're giving, you receive more than you give, and that's kind of been the track we've been following for the last few years, and it seems to be working great.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you again, sir. All right, so we're here with Mr. Frank Silverman, who's the director of Maya, and also has how many schools?
9 schools in Orlando, Florida.
9 schools in the Orlando, Florida area, so this gentleman knows what he's talking about. So first of all, I'd like to thank you for all of your years of putting this on for us. It's a fantastic event. We bring our team out every year and take away so much. So it's,
thank you for being here.
Absolutely, we wouldn't miss it. So if you've had some level of success in your life, if you could nail what your success is based on, and maybe 2 or 3 things that stand out above everything else, what would those 2 or 3 things be?
So I mean, you know, success is like beauty. It's in the eyes of the beholder, right?
Yes, sir.
So everybody rates that different. But I think success is about being persevering, being persistent, not giving up. You know, seeing the goal and just working towards it. And I think in lies, you know, those tips are right in there. You know, people say you can do things, people say you can't do them. It doesn't matter. That's just chatter out there. You just got to see your goal, set it, make it. Once you're there, next goal, moving on. So persistence to me is really one of the most important factors in success.
All right, everybody, I've got one of the living legends, Senior Grandmaster, is that the correct title?
Yeah.
Senior Grandmaster Ernie Reyes of the West Coast Demo Team, a true icon and legend in the martial arts here. I just wanted to kind of catch you and ask you, you've had a lot of success in your life. If you could nail down the reason for your success is the 2 or 3 things you did that really went above and beyond anything else, what would those things be?
I guess it's just finding out, in my life what my driven purpose is, and again, when I started off in school, I couldn't really read and write, So I went through school and got my degree, but I found out that my passion was martial arts, and so I try to live martial arts for life. And I believe that we should, as martial artists, train it, teach it, live it, and love it until our last breath.
All right, sir. Well, thank you so much for everything you've done in the industry, and it's an honor talking to you today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Grandmaster, newly titled Grandmaster Bill Clark, one of the top guys in the ATA organization, a legend in the arts for many, many years. Sir, you've had at least a small modicum of success in your life. If you could nail it down, your success down to 1 or 2 or 3 things that you did to get there, what would you say those things were?
Let me just say this, that I think that treat each day like it's the only day, because I think today's the day that makes all the difference, if you do. And if you don't, you wasted part of your life. That's my main thing, make use of every day.
All right, thank you very much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody, we're here with, is it Grandmaster?
Yes, sir.
Grandmaster Greg Silva, longtime person in the martial arts industry, has done a lot of fantastic things, has created some fantastic companies that I've personally used and benefited from. And I want to thank you for your service to the industry and things. You've had a lot of success in your career as a martial artist. If you could boil down your success to maybe 1, 2, or 3 core things you did, what would you say those would be?
Constantly getting education, implementation, even though I couldn't do it perfect, get it started and get to do it better later. And a mantra that I learned, or a kind of self-talk that I learned from Tom Hopkins, and that's to do the most important thing possible at any given moment. And I just kind of ran that through the head. And I just remember in my school one time going down the hallway, and I see a student on the side. I had a class waiting for me, but the most important thing to do at that time was to talk to that student. So I just stopped, even though there's other people waiting for me, talked to that student, probably turned him around and saved him. And so I think that was a large part of my success.
All right, so we're here with the world-famous Brandon Beliso out of what part of California, sir?
San Francisco,
San
California,
Francisco,
sir.
California. He's got a massive organization, and you just opened a second school.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
grew up from 0 to how many students in
We're
like,
in
a
2
year?
years. We're 2 years right now. We're at 390.
And your original location
is at 613.
which is,
So we
guys,
just broke 1,000 students, and we'll do 1.9 million this year.
guys, that's incredible. Those numbers are incredible. And he does this differently than anybody else
Yes,
in the
sir.
industry does
Yes,
it.
sir.
So let me ask you, based upon how you did what you did, if you could boil it down into being successful, to reaching your level of success, into 3 things you think you've done, what do you think that would be?
I think number 1 for us is recognizing that service is the new profit, and we focus on service instead of ROI, generating just leads purely. That once you make that mind shift change, everything happens organically, because it's about building trust. So the second thing for us is really about understanding I'm not concerned about trials immediately or members immediately. I'm more concerned about brand awareness and building that relationship with somebody, building that trust with somebody, because if they trust you, they'll do business with you. And I think the third thing I encourage everybody, and I got this early in the game, is stop taking our leads from the fitness industry. Stop doing a $1 Black Friday thing. I don't want to be a big box gym at $40 a month. Prime example, our new location is directly below a 24-hour fitness. People thought I was nuts.
Yes.
Our kickboxing program is $139 a month. No showers, no weights, no Zumba, no bells and whistles, just a kickboxing class. We are packed.
Wow.
We are packed. And what is, I think it's $40 at 24-hour fitness. So the third thing is to stop taking our marketing cues from the fitness industry, stop behaving like a fitness gym, and then we could push ourselves to be the Apple of our industry, and no longer just aligning ourselves with fitness clubs.
Fantastic. Well, you guys heard it here first. Mr. Beliso, thank you
sir.
very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we're here with my friend Scott Dolliff, the owner of Rainmaker Software, which is a software company that I use and about 2,000 other schools use. It's a fantastic product that makes everything much more professional. It's like having an extra employee, a very cheap employee on staff. And so he's grown this massive company, and he's a very successful man in his own right. So I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on thinking back on your path to success.
Yes.
If you could boil down to what you did to maybe 2 or 3 habits that you would subscribe to that really led to your success, what would those be?
Well, I think one of them is showing up. Show up earlier. Most, a lot of school owners don't show up till 3 o'clock. Our software makes it to where you can do that, but I think being there at 9 o'clock in the morning for walk-ins, I think so many people miss out on walk-ins.
Yes.
Because they're not there. And there are other ways to manage that if you're not going to be, right? Like you could put a lead box out. You could put looky-loo, something that grabs their eye, and at least if they walk by and you're not open, you could still have some kind of lead collection device to make sure that you do.
Yes.
But I also think that most people look at everything as a cost instead of as an investment, and they don't watch the numbers to know whether it is actually an investment or not. I think if they pay attention to the right numbers, then you'll find out that nothing costs you anything. Once you know that nothing costs you anything, you're more willing to invest in everything.
That's fantastic.
So you're less short-sighted on spending, and you're less nervous and scared based on the numbers. And so you start doing much more bizarre, much more, bigger things, which continues to perpetuate itself, and it grows, and the cost may get bigger, but the lifetime value gets bigger, and it just continues to spiral up. So I think that's the biggest thing.
All right, well, fantastic. You guys heard it here first. Mr. Dolliff, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, everybody, we're here with Mr. Barry Vanover, the founder and owner of the premier martial arts organization and one of the big industry icons, and he's created lots of products for the industry, including a product that I used way back in the day called School Talks, which really revolutionized my business. So I have to thank you for that, and thank you for all the service that you've done for the industry.
Welcome, man.
Absolutely. And what I wanted to ask you is if over the past 20 or so years you've become pretty successful. If you had to nail it down to 3 things or 3 habits you did, what would you say those things would be?
Knowledge, focus, and motivation, man. You got to get the right knowledge to know what you're doing. There's a lot of information, a lot of misinformation out there. But once you know and you have social proof that something works, you got to get that knowledge and use it. You got to stay focused. There's too many things that a school owner does that can get them unfocused off their next thing. Always first things first. What's the most important thing I can be doing at any given time to grow my business and further my career? That's the focus that's needed. And finally, motivation. Whether you're successful or unsuccessful, everybody has to figure out how to stay motivated and keep moving forward. So those are the 3 things that I would think it would help everybody in any industry.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time, sir.
Man,
Appreciate
thanks for
it.
stopping by.
Absolutely.
Well, I sure hope you guys enjoyed listening to that as much as I did. I recommend you go back through this a couple of times and maybe even grab something to take some notes on. There were fantastic gems in there. So until next week, this is James Theris saying be successful.
That's all for this week. Tune in next week for another episode of Success Weekly. Do you have an idea you'd like James to talk about in an upcoming episode? Post your comments and be sure to share this podcast with friends.